Hello and welcome to Applied Psychometric Awareness, or APA. My name's Andy Edwards and I'm co-founder of APA and your new psycho friend. But of course I mean psycho, as in psychometric. The reason you're here is that you're obviously interested in how other people tick. And I guarantee you'll not get a better opportunity to understand yourself and other people than the one you have right now. Perhaps you're a business owner and you recognise that an important component of your service is the connection you build with your customer or client. Perhaps you're a leader or a manager in a business and you recognise that you need to understand, engage, influence and motivate staff to be productive members of a team. Not always the easiest of jobs. Perhaps you're none of the above, but simply want to understand yourself and others better. Whatever your reason for being here, it'll be because you're interested in improving relationships by understanding others. I always say that the primary currency in business and indeed life is not money, it's relationships. In business, we don't even get to the money without someone, the customer, having a relationship with the business or indeed a person within it. In life, very little is accomplished without others being present, adding to, or sharing in celebrating the achievement. So it's important stuff, this relationship thing. What then will this introduction to APA, Applied Psychometric Awareness, what will it actually bring you? Well, if after taking the course all you achieved was a deeper understanding of yourself and others, well, that would be worth it in itself. However, APA will bring you so many other benefits, some of which I don't even know, because you will apply your knowledge to your situations and your relationships to any number of positive effects. Perhaps you'll tell me about them one day. But here's what to expect once you've finished the course and, of course, have applied the learning. People will be drawn to you and they won't really know why. You'll also have the knack of being able to read people almost instantaneously. Your communication with other people will improve. Misunderstandings will drop away. You'll be far more self-accepting and confident in who you are, and you'll find it easier to forgive, or at least to understand why people behave in negative ways. You may become more tolerant and yet more assertive. You'll be able to anticipate how certain people will react to certain situations, and you might even find out what people say about you when you're not there, and all that's just for starters. It all depends on how you apply your learning and indeed in what context. So what do you actually get? Well, this is the introductory course, so I want to cover all the basics first. If you decide to take the advanced Jedi Knight version after this course, you'll first need this grounding in Applied Psychometric Awareness. Just a quick word about what this is not. APA is not a heavy academic psychometric training intervention. If that's your bag, go take a psych degree or contact a national psychological society or governing body and enroll on one of their academic courses. Let's face it, hundreds of thousands of people do. No, APA is all about taking the most useful, practical, applicable and yes, easiest parts of the subject and packaging these elements into simple but effective learning that you can put into practice almost immediately. Still believe you're in the right place? Good. This whole introductory course lasts about an hour and consists of 5 elements, each lasting around about 12 minutes. This, along with some exercises that I'm going to ask you to do between those lectures, creates a learning event of about 2 hours in total, which you'll take across a few days, I'm sure. Each of the 5 sections are delivered by a video lecture, presented by yours truly. You may, of course, watch each video as many times as you like, and after each lecture there will be an exercise to do, supported by an information sheet, which you'll be invited to print out at the end of each section. You will need to complete each lecture and do each exercise before moving on to the subsequent lecture. And once you've completed all 5 video lectures and undertaken the suggested exercises, there will be a little quiz or a test to ensure that you've learned the material to an acceptable standard. If you do the work, the 10 questions at the end should be a doddle. The titles of the 5 sections? Okay, here they are. Lecture 1 is called First Meeting. Now this looks at what happens when we're first introduced to somebody, most of which happens unconsciously. So I'm sure you're going to find that section really fascinating. Section 2, Lecture 2, is called Who Are You Really? Here we explore the categories and judgments we all bring in order to make sense of the world. What happens though when we categorise other people or indeed categorise ourselves? Let's find out in Section 2. Lecture 3, that's called the psychological types. Now this is where we explore some of the underpinning psychology behind the applied psychometric awareness. And you'll have heard of the chap who started it all, I'm sure. In this lecture, I refer to it as the science bit, so as that advert once said, you'll probably need to concentrate. Lecture 4 is called What do people think? What do people actually think of me? What do people think of me really? Yes, we discover what people probably say about you when you're not there. Not the most comfortable of sections, but who said self-discovery was that easy? Lecture 5 is called Recognizing, Connecting and Communicating. How can we recognize a particular psychological type? And what should we look out for? And having established their type, what can we do then to create and maintain the best possible relationships with that person? So, are you ready to start the first learning module? I certainly am. I'll see you in a mo.